बाजू dodge pass आगे पीछे आजू बाजू dodge pass आगे पीछे आजू बाजू dodge pass hit it.
The world is building up to October 6 and 28, where 24 countries will be vying for the ultimate trophy. That's the Under-17 World Cup trophy. Under-17 is termed as the home of the next great stars to grace global football. The Lionel Messis, the Cristiano Ronaldos, the MichaelEssiens. The world believes that the generation which is going to grace the Under-17 World Cup in India are going to come from this. And the country that will be hosting it is India. I'm here with His Excellency, Birender Singh Yadav, to talk to us about the World Cup which is going to be taking place in his home country. Thank you.
Thank you, Mukhtar.
Just like I was saying, from October 6th, everyone will be looking up to Under-17 World Cup in your country. It came to the world as a surprise in 2013 when FIFA chose India as the host nation for this Under-17 World Cup. What does it mean to the people of India as they host the first FIFA event ever taking place?
India is excited to host the first FIFA event. India had hosted Asian Games, Commonwealth Games, the World Cups of cricket and hockey. But this is for the first time that a football Under-17 World Cup is being hosted in India. And there's lots of excitement. People are eagerly awaiting, and the October is going to be a month of carnival in India.
The October is going to be a month of carnival in India. Ghana is going to be there. India is going to be there. There's this myth out there that India once upon a time defeated Ghana 101, some say 1991.
I also read about this story. In fact, we have a very popular Indian Technical Economic Cooperation program under which lots of Ghanaian officials travel to India for various courses. Okay. And one of the participants, he gave us a report after the completion of the course. And in the introduction, he mentioned that some of the myths which are prevalent in Ghana about the Indian football team, that they score so many goals that whenever an Indian player kicks the ball comes like a ball of fire, and that's why the other teams are very reluctant to play against India. But jokes apart, Indian football team was very good in 50s and 60s. In fact, Indian football team participated in 1948 London Olympics immediately after our independence. And I think in 1956 Melbourne or 58 Melbourne Olympics, they were respectable fourth. And they also won the Asian Cup in 1951, which was held in Jakarta. After that, there had been a little slowdown in terms of the achievements of the Indian football team, but now we are again seeing a revival of Indian football. We have initiated a very successful Indian Super League, a professional club league, and the young talent is being nurtured, and the hosting of FIFA event would help us to further popularize the game of football, which already is popular next to cricket in India, so that the talent could be picked up, nurtured, and we again have a very nice team.
Looking back at history, India has little to say in terms of football. Does this put your country under threat of winning this World Cup?
No, I think if you talk about history, India, I think the two surviving football clubs of Mohammedan Sporting and Mohun Bagan were set up 3 decades after the first club was set up in the world, Sheffield FC. And the Durand Cup, which is hosted in India, is the 3rd largest tournament in the entire world. So it's not that India does not have the history of football. But yes, as I mentioned, 50s and 60s were the prime years of Indian football. But again, the talent has started grooming in India, and we are looking forward to a very exciting match since Ghana and India are in the same group. Yes. Against Ghana on 12th of October.
You just mentioned that you are reviving. So looking at the quality of the Indian side, can they win the World Cup?
We would very much like India and Ghana to clash in finals. India is in the World Cup because we are hosting the FIFA, but we are also starting the World Cup as underdogs. And I think we would like to have faith in the capability of our youngsters that they will put up a good fight against whatever team they play. We all know for sure that Ghanaian team is very good. Recently, Ghanaian team lifted the Wafu Cup. So we know that the quality of and standard of Ghanaian team is very good. But sometimes underdogs can also turn the tables. So when India would be playing Ghana, we would be definitely supporting India. But we would very much like the finals to be between India and Ghana. But we are also aware of the fact that football needs a lot of popularization in India, and that is one of the reasons that India is hosting this FIFA Under-17 World Cup. And the mission of FIFA also is to take football to 11 million kids in India. So, but I think our team is preparing hard, as is your team, which is in Dubai before traveling to India. And I think our team will put up a good fight.
The Ghanaian team were here to meet you. They met the Indian community. What influenced that decision to invite them over?
We wanted to do a send-off to the Ghanaian football team because they are traveling to India, which is hosting the Under-17 FIFA World Cup. And this was to wish them all the best. Ghanaian team is very good. And also to invite the supporters of the Black Starlets to travel to India to see the beautiful country of India when the Ghanaian team is not playing, to travel across length and breadth of India, because FIFA Under-17 World Cup is being hosted at 6 venues in India, which are geographically spread throughout India. Of course, one of them is New Delhi, then is Navi Mumbai, then in the east we have Guwahati, in the west we have beautiful Goa, and then in the southern India, Kochi is hosting the matches, and the finals and the league matches of course would be played in Kolkata, where football traditionally has been very popular.
You were talking about sending off the Ghanaian people. Was that to give them an idea of the kind of people they will be meeting in India?
I think that was to wish them all the best, and also to familiarize them with the Indian hospitality, which I think they would be enjoying and cherishing throughout their life. And also the idea was to create an awareness about the Under-17 FIFA World Cup, which is being hosted in India. And as you rightly mentioned, these are the stars who would be tomorrow's Messi's, Neymar's, Ronaldinho's, or Drogba. Yes. So I think this was to give an exposure to them and also to wish them all the best from the High Commission of India.
Considering the population of India, people often say that, well, when you are leaving the shores of your country, you are unsure of the people who are welcoming you. What sort of people are they going to meet in India?
I think the Ghanaian Under-17 team and the officials, they would relish the time they would spend in India. India is a beautiful country, and we say Athithi Devo Bhava. For us, the guests are the gods. They are most welcome. And I think they would enjoy a very pleasant stay, and depending upon how the league processes, how the tournament progresses, the teams would be moving from one location to another location, and wherever they go, they would enjoy the Indian hospitality, and also would get an opportunity, if whenever they are taking rest, to see the rich Indian culture and traditions. India is a great ancient civilization, and we have a rich culture and history. So when they are playing in Delhi, maybe they can travel to Agra to see the Monument of Love, Taj Mahal. Within Delhi, they can see Qutub Minar, Red Fort, Bai's Temple, the India Gate, the President's office, the Parliament. So Delhi itself is a very old and modern city. So I think whenever they want to go for shopping, they will have a wide choice, and they can see when we say that India is a very fast emerging economy, they can see what it means on the ground. So they will see lots of development, the good state of infrastructure. When they will come out of the airport, I think airport is the first point of entry, and so Delhi has one of the busiest airports in the world and a very beautiful airport. And when they will be traveling to their hotel, they will see the state of infrastructure which the capital city of Delhi has, including the expressway and metros, and the Delhi and the suburbs. They have offices of large number of MNCs. And I think this will also give them an opportunity to have an exposure to emerging India.
You've mentioned exposure. How safe are they exposing themselves to the people of India?
They are as safe as they are in Ghana. And I think they should not have any concerns about safety. The venues where matches are being played are very secure and safe venues, and adequate security measures would be put in place by Government of India to ensure successful completion of the Under-17 FIFA World Cup.
Is that an assurance you are giving to Ghanaians that the team we are sending to India will come back safe, sound?
They will not only come safe and sound, they would come with the desire to go and visit India again. And I'm telling you, so maybe the Football Federation of Ghana would again have to devise ways and means to take the football team back again to India. And let me also share with this you, we are again bidding for Under-19 World Cup, FIFA World Cup in India in 2019. So maybe as they grow, maybe after 2 years, the same team, when they are in Under-19, they will again get a chance to travel to India.
Talking about that Under-19, why would you want to host the Under-19 World Cup again in 2019?
I think, as I mentioned, the hosting of international events, World Cups especially, it gives an encouragement to the youth to pick up the sport. And we want to further popularize game of football in India. It's not that it's not popular, but when you host such mega international events, then additional encouragement is given to youngsters to choose football as a profession. For the first time in India, we have a minister of sports who himself is an Olympic medalist. He was in shooting and like so. And the emphasis of Government of India is to pick up sport and nurture the talent, so that our nation of 1.3 billion would now start performing well in football or in other sports. We are already having great sportsmen. The Indian shuttler, badminton player PV Sandhu, she is number 2 in women badminton, and she recently defeated the world number 1 in Korean Open. We have Sania Mirza. She is a very good tennis player. Leander Paes has been playing doubles with so many players and winning so many doubles tournaments. We have Vishwanathan Anand, a world number 1 chess player. We have Abhinav Bindra, very good in shooting. And in athletics, we had P.T. Usha and we had Milkha Singh, who missed a medal by fraction of seconds in 50s, 60s. So I think again we are focusing on sports, and kids are seriously looking towards taking sports as a profession. And the mushrooming of leagues, be it in cricket, the Indian Premier League or the Indian Super League in football, and even the traditional games such as Kabaddi, now they have leagues, so which helps players to be assured about choosing the games and sports as profession, because that's financially rewarding also, apart from getting recognition and fame.
You've mentioned so many things about why you want to host tournaments. But basically, someone will say there's a motive, there's a motivation. Earlier, you did mention of how it boosts the economy, because the world will gather in India for the tournament. Are you looking at the economic aspect of it, or you're looking at it at a point where you think hosting the tournaments will help grow talents in your country?
I think it's not only one factor, it's lots of factors which go in when we decide to bid for hosting a major international event. First of all, it requires infrastructure creation. And we are proud to say that India at present have excellent sports infrastructure, and we are in position to host big events. Delhi hosted Commonwealth Games in 2010, which was a huge success. And Delhi had also hosted Asian Games in 1982. So now lots of other cities also have excellent sports infrastructure, and so that also helps, because once the events are over, this infrastructure is used by the players, domestic players. So it helps them. They get a nice place to practice and hone their skills. And also, yes, the tournaments provides an opportunity for lots of supporters to travel to India and to enjoy the beauty and culture of India.
Would you advise Ghana to also bid for a tournament, let's say the Under-17 World Cup in the future?
That is for Ghana to decide. As I mentioned, India is bidding for to host Under-19 FIFA World Cup.
Yeah.
And I think this must have been seeing the response which the preparations for the current Under-17 FIFA World Cup has generated India. The mascot of the game, Khelo, was taken across the country, and especially events were held at all the 6 locations, and there was tremendous response to the events. There was a match which was played by the football legends. So I think people are eagerly awaiting for this tournament to happen, and I think Government of India with its right policies is again trying to see that our teams and our players can perform and reach the world standards.
So the Ghanaian team, when they get to India, probably on the 4th or 5th of October, what should they do and what should they not do?
I think they should focus on football, because they are going primarily to participate, and they have league matches. So and in the rest time, as I mentioned, Delhi is a very modern and historic city, so they should go and see the World Heritage sites in India, the incredible India's tourism sites in Delhi and nearby areas, and do the shopping. Delhi and India is a shopper's paradise, so maybe they should bring a gift for their family and relatives and friends as a memory of their visit to India.
Do you back Ghana to win the World Cup?
I would say I would back India and Ghana to play the finals.
Do you back Ghana to win the World Cup?
And then let the better team win?
You cannot back 2 teams to win the World Cup.
So the team which will play better on that day. So see, we all know the fact that Ghanaian team is very good team, but it's also a fact that India, being a host, Indian team is also participating in the tournament. So my first loyalty would always be with India. But at the same time, as I am mentioning, we would be very happy that if Ghana could reach the finals and again try to lift the cup as they did in 1991 when it was hosted in Italy. But we also have faith in our team. So and till the league matches are not over.
You have still not answered my question. Do you back Ghana to win the World Cup?
I would back India and Ghana to be in finals. And to look forward to an exciting match.
And which team should win
and
the final?
if India doesn't reach final, of course we'll back Ghana to lift the cup.
What about if India should reach the final? On the final day, which team will you be supporting?
If India and Ghana?
Which team will you be supporting?
Would you be supporting Indian team if India and Ghana reach the final?
No. Is that a question or an answer to my
I'm
question?
asking you.
I will back Ghana.
So I'll also back India.
Okay, I get you in that aspect. But touching on the Indian team again, the final squad was just released a week ago or so. What have the Indian community put in place to ensure that your vision of seeing this team win the World Cup will happen?
They have been practicing a lot. And to give you an example, India moved 31 places in the World Football ranking from 132 to 101 spot. So it shows the pace with which Indian team is improving its performance. Of course, it's a combination of so many factors, but what I'm trying to say is that the entire objective of hosting Under-17 FIFA World Cup in India is to further popularize football in India. We know that our team has to work hard, work a lot to come to the levels where the other teams are there, including the Ghanaian team. And it is with this objective, but also at the same time, I would very much like to support our team, and if they are not able to qualify to the next round, of course, we would be supporting the Ghanaian team.
What is the vision of India in the next 10 years for football?
I think we would try to see that the ranking of Indian team increases further from 101, and maybe it could come to first 60, 50. And our players, if they could start playing in the different professional clubs, I think that would help them in gaining experience when they play with quality players. And I think that they start winning Asia Cup and Commonwealth Games and start doing good in the FIFA World Cups. So I think it's a long-term process. Already we are seeing good results by renewed focus on the game of football, by the starting of Indian Super League, which channelizes the talent to the game of football. And I think gradually we will see that Indian team would be a force to reckon with in coming years.
Finally, what do you have to tell Ghanaians?
Please visit India and support your team. And even when, you're most welcome, and we wish that your team advances to the finals. And we know that Black Starlets is a very good team, a very strong contender. But so are the other teams. So I think they should remain focus on the game, on football, put in their best efforts, and should enjoy their stay in India. And we would also welcome Ghanaians to pay a visit to India during the tournament, even otherwise, like so that they can see the beauty and richness of it.
Thank you very much.